Hi guys. So today our little yoga short is going to be for not one but two requests. I got a request for heart openers and then also for hips. So we'll combine the two for this one and we'll call it Happy Hips, Happy Heart. So go ahead and put on your favorite music, find your favorite playlist. If you have a block, maybe grab it and keep it somewhere close by. If you don't have a block, no problem. You could take a towel or a blanket, roll it up nice and tight. That could be your block. Or you could skip it all together. We aren't going to use them until our final resting pose, and it'll just be to optimize that pose. So it'll be really nice if you have one, but no problem if you don't. So you can go ahead and put it aside for now. And we'll start off in Baddha Konasana. So that is butterfly pose. So we're drawing the soles of the feet together. We're sitting up nice and tall. Go ahead and take your thumbs, press them into the soles of the feet and open them like they're a book. After you've done that, you can keep the hands right there if it feels nice, or you can kind of guide them up to your ankles and then find a nice little grip on your ankles. We'll go ahead and sit up straight, maybe even pull the heart through, a nice little early heart opener. And close the eyes. Just find some space. And we'll start with space between the thoughts. See if we can lengthen the bouts of silence. That beautiful space between one thought and then the next. Slowing everything down. And start to find the breath. Feel it. Feel it in your lungs. See if you can feel it throughout your own body as you inhale. Fill up every tendon, every muscle, every cell, every thought. Fill it up with oxygen. And as you exhale, just let it all go. Maybe even sigh it out through the mouth. Nice slow breaths. Trying to make the inhales and the exhales even, so that might mean counting them in the beginning. If you're inhaling for 6, you're exhaling for 6. If you have an Ujjayi breath in your practice, that audible breathing, where you can really hear it down the back of the throat, you can begin to awaken it now. Maybe setting an intention for your practice. What do you hope to get out of this time on the mat today? And as you're ready, we'll slowly blink the eyes opened. And we'll find some seated cat and cow. So in an inhale, we'll pull the heart forward and lift the chin. And as we exhale, we'll tuck the chin back and then pull through the ankles, really rounding through the back. We're coming to the back of the hip girdle here. Inhale, back to cow. Creating lots of arc in the back. Pulling maybe even the hips up to the sky. The crown of the head is definitely lifted. Exhale, find your cat. One more on your own breath. Moving whenever you need to switch. So after you've inhaled and you can't inhale anymore, that's what moves you on to our next pose. And that's what I'll mean when I say move with your own breath. One more time. Exhale through cat. Once we're back in cat, stay here, and next exhale, we're gonna take the very top part of our head and see if we can melt it in between our feet. And just stay there for a second and breathe. Maybe shake out the head, some yeses and nos, releasing through the neck. Maybe even pressing the hips open, using the elbows as leverage to press down on the knees, opening through the hips. And very slowly, on an inhale, let's start to roll up to a neutral spine. Our chin stays tucked the whole time. It's the very last to lift. And once you're there, you can stay right here. Sometimes I think it's helpful for this to glue the elbows to the insides of the thighs. And we'll find some rocks just side to side. Just kind of having fun, loosening up through the hips. Maybe you take some circular motions. And we're finding the circles. We're circling both ways, counterclockwise and clockwise. See, yoga is really fun, you guys. We get to be kids again. And then finally finding that neutral spine. We'll cross at the ankles and come into an all fours. So tracking the shoulders over the wrists. Our hips are going to be directly over our knees. And just find some movement that feels nice. So maybe that means just circling through the wrists, starting to wake them up. You could think about maybe isolating the head and just rolling out the neck. Maybe we isolate the shoulders and take some barrel rolls through the shoulders. Just moving freely. These are all suggestions, so take what you'd like. We'll stay here for about 5 breaths. Our breath is audible, we can hear it. It's grounding us into our practice, into our movement, keeping our minds on our mat. And eventually you'll settle into a neutral spine. On an inhale, we'll pick that right knee off the mat and put a 90-degree bend in the leg. So now the sole of the foot is facing towards the sky. On an exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, take it back up, keeping that bend. Exhale, knee to chest. And find that on your own breath, making sure our hip is staying nice and square the whole time. Maybe even coming a little higher each time to kind of work into that glute. So when we're having kind of those hip problems, it's a bit of, we want to stretch, yes, but we also want to strengthen. So we'll add both of those to our hip and heart flow today with strengthening exercises and also stretching exercises. Maybe even next time your foot's back there, you kind of keep it there and find some pulses, or you can even extend it straight and then find pulses. Squeezing the glutes nice and tight. Our belly's engaged the whole time. Keeping your gaze between your hands down at the mat. I'm going to be kind of looking up just so you can hear me, but you'll want to keep your neck nice and in line with the rest of your spine. Exhale, draw the knee back to the chest. This time we'll open it up to 3 o'clock, so keeping that bend in the leg, and then take it back. It's a bit of a dog meets fire hydrant situation, right? Feels so nice to open up the hip though. Again, our gaze is down between the hands, keeping our neck nice and neutral. Next time that knee is out, go ahead and extend the leg and either hold or find some pulses. Again, squeezing those glutes in nice and tight. Press through the fingers on the mat to make sure we're nice and even throughout our shoulders. Exhale, ground the foot. We'll find some cat and cow with that leg extended. So inhale, pull the heart through for cow. Exhale, find your cat, really putting arch in the back. Really working on range of motion in that right hip. Now it's already open. We're just helping to kind of use those hip flexors to open it even more, loosen it up. Couple more. Find a neutral spine. And on an inhale, we'll stack the torso, reach the arms up high, and then exhale, reach up and over the extended leg. If you'd like to heart opener, you can even bend that arm and start to open the heart up towards the sky. Last big breath. Exhale, we're going to sweep the arm over. Go ahead and grab onto the floor and then kick the right foot up and into the hand. Scoot over so you can see me a little. So you can just hold it here and find a quad stretch. You can open the heart and begin to bow out. If you can't quite reach the foot, no problem. Just go ahead and bend the knee and reach the heel towards the glute. You're still going to feel a nice stretch, and you might even get more work if you're not grabbing on. On the next inhale, go ahead and release and hold. Exhale back to tabletop. We'll take 2 rounds of cat and cow to reset the spine. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. 1 more. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Neutralize the spine. This time our left knee is going to come off the mat, and go ahead and bring it to that 90-degree bend. On an exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, knee into the chest. Exhale, take it back up. Again, on your own breath, finding that movement. Option to stay here and find some little pulses with the bend, or maybe even straighten the leg and then find the pulses. Wherever we're at, we're squeezing those thighs in towards the midline. Squeeze the glutes. If you'd like some extra arm work, you can even begin to pull the triceps together, pulling the mat together with the triceps, and then maybe even apart, kind of moving in that way. Being nice and careful for our elbows, and really making sure that maybe we're putting a little bit of micro bend in them so we're not pressing too hard. Next time that knee's into the chest, let's go ahead and stay there. And then we'll open up that left knee to our 9 o'clock. Go ahead and close it. Working on that fire hydrant situation. Again, our gaze is between the hands, neutralizing the neck. Next time the hip is open, stay. Extend the left leg, hold or find some pulses. Pressing through the fingertips, even up on the shoulders. And exhale, go ahead and extend that leg. We'll take some cat and cow here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, find all that roundness. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, find your cat. Take a couple more on your own breath. Eventually coming into a neutral spine, we'll go ahead and stack torso on top of hips. Reach the arms up. On an inhale, reach right arm up and over, extended leg. And decide if you'd like this side body stretch or maybe a heart opener. Big exhale to sweep that right arm down to the mat and kick the left foot into the hand. Again, it's okay if you can't reach it, just hold it there and squeeze. If you can, then you can start to open through the heart if you'd like, finding a bow. Gaze down at the right hand. Next, inhale, release the ankle and float the leg, hold. Keep it right there, nice and steady. Exhale, back to our tabletop. We're gonna send the knees wide and then come back for a child's pose. So chest and head come to the mat. I'm not gonna put my head down just so you can hear me. The wider you get those knees, the more you're gonna feel it in the hips. Touch the big toes together, sit back on the heels. Maybe even walk the hands out and spider up through the fingertips. Press the heart down towards the mat. 3 big breaths here. And starting to walk the hands, we'll pass back through our tabletop. Tuck the toes and send the hips high for your downward facing dog. Take a second to pedal out the feet. Waking up the hamstrings, waking up the dog. Roll your shoulder blades and your triceps outward. Broaden through the chest. Press through the fingertips to make sure we're not compressing down on those wrists. On an inhale, send the right leg high for 3-legged dog, and then bend the knee and stack the hips. Right hip right on top of left, and draw some circles with that knee, beginning to open up. Maybe even in drawing the infinity sign. Rotating the hips both ways. Inhale, back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, we're gonna find a dragon pose. So our foot's gonna come to the outside of the hand. Our toes are gonna be pointed to about a 2 o'clock. Allow the hips to dip down here as it feels comfortable. You can stay still or find some movement. You can even ground that back shin if you'd like, or keep it lifted. Another option would be to come onto the blade of the foot, the outside blade of the foot of the right foot, opening up the hip a little more, maybe even drawing some circles. Let's take a clearing breath here. Inhale through the nose, fill up the lungs completely. Hold up top and sigh it out. We'll step that left foot to the top of the mat to match the right. Yogi squat. So our elbows are gonna come to the insides of our knees. Our hands are gonna come to heart center, and we're pressing the hips to open, or we're pressing the elbows into the knees to open the hips, I should say. And same thing here, you could find stillness or maybe some little rocks. If you'd like a little work, you can move with me, or you can stay right here. For the work, on an inhale, we're gonna reach everything up high, maybe even come onto the toes. Exhale, drop it back down. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, back down to yogi squat. 3 more, inhale, back up. Exhale, yogi squat. 2 more, take it up. Exhale, back down. Last one, inhale, take it up high. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, come back down. So go ahead and press the hands into the mat. We'll take the left foot back to where it was, passing right back through our dragon. And inhale, 3-legged dog. Right foot comes back. Exhale, we're gonna find a fallen triangle. So that right foot's gonna graze across the mat, come onto the side edge of that foot, and then reach up with the left arm, stack the shoulders, or maybe open the heart. Pulling the hips up high to the sky. Exhale to replant the hands, 3-legged dog. Exhale, runner's lunge. Foot comes between the hands at the top of the mat. Exhale, step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Draw the hands into the heart. Take a pause. Close the eyes. Blink the eyes back open. Inhale, circle sweep the arms. Exhale, big heart opener, swan dive down towards the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you can step the feet back to our high plank or hop through chaturanga. Arms come to a 90-degree. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send the left leg high for 3-legged dog. Bend the knees, stack the hips, and find your circles. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, dragon. Foot comes to the outside of that left hand. Toes point now to about a 9 o'clock. Relax the shoulders away from the ear and allow the hips to dip down low. Same options as before for movement. Maybe we drop the back shin. Maybe we come onto the outside blade of the foot. Find little circles. Listen to your body. One more breath. Take a big inhale. And on your exhale, right foot comes to the top of the mat, just like the left one is, yogi squat. So same options as before to do the 5 lifts. Or you can just stay here and find stillness. Or option for crow, if you'd like to kind of throw a crow in here to work on it for your practice. I'll give you a quick crow demo. If you'd like the full gambit, there's actually a yoga short on it for crow. So again, we're gonna just, hands come to the mat, putting in a good little bend in the elbows, create a shelf. Draw the knees somewhere into the triceps, maybe into the armpits. Gaze forward about 6 inches or half a foot away from the top of your mat. Press into the fingertips. Draw those heels into the glutes. And we'll all meet back in our yogi squat. Press the hands into the mat. And then step that right foot, passing through dragon. Right foot to the back of the mat. One big breath here. Let's sigh it out the mouth. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, fallen triangle. Left foot grazes across the mat. Coming on to our left arm, stack the shoulders or open the heart. Lift the hips so high. Big breaths. Rounding through the hands. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Exhale, runner's lunge. Foot comes between the hands at the top of the mat. And step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Draw the hands to the heart. Let's go right back down. Pour them through the heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Go ahead and take your chaturanga. You can step back and float through or hop back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send the right leg high. And exhale, we're gonna come to a crescent lunge. Foot comes between the hands. Reach up high, pressing the weight down on that heel. We'll find a heart opener. So on an exhale, cactus those arms out, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together and draw the elbows backwards. Big breaths. Inhale to take the arms back up. We're gonna go for a front extension. So coming onto that bent leg, straighten everything up. Left leg draws forward. Now you get to see my dirty feet. Here, I'll switch this way. And then maybe we find some little pulses. Pulling the belly button in nice and tight. And then when you're ready, we'll find a figure four. So cross the ankle over the right thigh. Draw the hands to the heart. You can stay right here and then just work to open up the hip this way by pulling the knee backwards. Or maybe you start to dip low into the right hip. Finding a balance. And again, we're really working on dialing the knee down towards our mat, which is opening our hip. If this balance, I'm gonna give you another option, so stay right here if this feels nice. But if you're not feeling it or if it's too hard to balance, you can come to the ground and take the exact same stretch. So my ankle's over my quad, sitting up nice and tall, still getting that stretch in. The other option would be, if it's hard to balance, grabbing a wall, taking an assist. Inhale, start to rise, come back for that front extension. Exhale, we're gonna pass through our warrior three. So hips are staying square, big toes pointing down to the mat. Go ahead and reach for our runner's lunge. Bending that right leg. We'll ground the shin and reach up tall, Anjali Asana. So again, allowing the hips to dip through here, making sure our knee is not passing over our ankles. We'll take a heart opener. Go ahead and release the hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back to open up that heart, and then pull the hands down and away from that back leg. Chin can come up as well. Our gaze comes up, breathe. Exhale to release the hands. We'll ground them, framing out that front foot. Tuck those left toes, and we'll come back to our three-legged dog. Exhale, back down to our downward dog, or you can take a vinyasa. We'll all meet here. We're all back in our downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, crescent lunge. Left foot comes between the hands. Ready to reach up nice and tall. firming up that right glute to support the knee. And we'll find our heart opener. As you exhale, cactus the arms out, lift the chin, squeeze the thighs in towards the midline. Inhale to take the arms back up. Stepping onto that foot, find your front extension. Hold there. Maybe you find some pulses. I'm going to turn this way so you're not staring at my foot. Exhale, find that figure four. Left ankle comes over right ankle comes over the left quad, and sit down. Remember your options. You can come down to the ground. You can even use a wall if balancing is not happening for you today. Sitting back, our weight's on our heel. We could wiggle the toes if we'd like. Inhale, start to reach back up. Find the front extension. Exhale, warrior three. Exhale, runner's lunge. Ground that back shin. On an inhale, sweep the arms up high, Anjaneyasana. We'll take the same heart opener, so dropping the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders up, lift the heart, pull the hands down and away from the back leg. Gaze is up, chin is lifted, breath is flowing. Exhale to release the grip. Frame out that front foot, tuck the back toes, three-legged dog. Take a vinyasa or go straight to downward dog. We'll all meet there. Once we're in downward dog, we're going to bend the knees. We're coming down to a seat. So you can just plop right there, maybe find some lift, and then sit down. So we're going to take double pigeon. So we'll take the right shin is going to stack right on top of the left shin, which means our right foot is going to be on top of that left knee. We want everything to be nice and parallel in a line. So once you're there, how about you can skip the heart opener for this one and just kind of walk it forward. If you're going to do that, any sort of pigeon, my first tip to you would be to walk the fingertips as far away from the hips as you can. Once they're as far away as you can go, then pull the heart through even more and then fold. That's how we're going to really activate the hips. We're making sure we're hinging at the hips and not at the belly. So that's option one. Or if you'd like a heart opener, you can reach behind and grab opposite elbows. Maybe even roll the shoulders back, open up the heart, and then send the heart forward. We're not rounding, the back is nice and flat. Hold here and breathe. We should be getting a nice stretch on the right side, the right hip. Gaze off the tip of the nose or close the eyes. Slow down the breathing, but make sure we're breathing. On an inhale, start to rise. We'll just go ahead and release our bind. Float the legs out, and then put the opposite one on top. Left shin is going to go over top of right this time. Our left foot is on our right knee. Everything's stacking and lining up in a nice line. And once we're there, if you took the forward fold, heart open, and then fold, take it again here. And if you took the other heart opener, you can take the same one here. Just see if you can remember what elbow that you, or what arm you had on top, and switch it. Roll out the shoulders. And then as you exhale, draw the heart forward. Grounding the hips, making sure both of our sitting bones are on our mat. Lengthen through the spine. Pull the crown of the head away from the shoulders, lengthening through the neck. Breathe. On an inhale, start to rise. Release your bind. Maybe even kind of windshield wiper the knees out side to side. And then we'll find a final resting pose. So we'll do a hip and a heart opener. If you have your block or your rolled up blanket or towel, now is the time to grab it. Our final resting pose will take Supta Baddha Konasana. So we did Baddha Konasana in the very beginning, it's butterfly pose. Supta, we're just gonna be reclining. So we're gonna be laying back on our back. So our legs are there, we'll lay back. If you have a block, we'll take a supported fish. So depending on how much opening that you would like, you can either have your block lengthwise or this way. So once you've decided how much opening, it's gonna go right between your shoulder blades, not on any of those cervical vertebrae. So we wanna make sure that our neck is able to hang comfortably right over top of the block, so it's right between our shoulder blades. It's gonna elevate our heart. Now our hips are getting some nice opening with our Supta Baddha Konasana. Your arms you can take out to a YT and allow the shoulders to hang. You can even draw one hand over your heart, one hand to your belly to tune it inward. And whatever you pick, stay for at least 20 breaths. Quiet the mind. Slow down the breathing. And let go of the control of the breathing. It starts to just flow naturally. We'll let go of the control of everything. Just relax and be. And that's where I'll leave you. Namaste, friends.